The Department of Homeland Security says it has reunited more than 500 immigrant children with their parents. They were separated under the Trump administration's zero-tolerance immigration policy. But there are more than 2,000 kids still in shelters just waiting to find their families. Colorado woman decided to protest this policy, and she says that got her into trouble. Shauna Johnson wrote, "Stop putting kids in cages in chalk" outside of Representative Ken Buck's office in Castle Rock. Deputies later cited her with a misdemeanor. Dylan Thomas joins us live tonight to talk more about this. And Dylan, Johnson says she didn't do anything wrong.
Karen, she'd been trying to call him for weeks, but she didn't have any answer. So she went to his office, and when she found out he wasn't there, she took her message down to the ground and left it in chalk. But later on, when deputies showed up at her front door, she thought that they were actually prosecuting her for her message instead of the chalk itself.
It's safe to say Shauna Johnson is passionate about immigration enforcement and child separation practices.
I have an affinity for kids. I had been calling my congressman's office every day for probably a week.
But Ken Buck never called her back. So earlier this month, she went to his office, only to find out he wasn't there. On her way out, while carrying her daughter,
she dropped some chalk, and I was divinely inspired to leave a message.
The message read, "Stop putting kids in cages, Ken Buck," and she signed it as Jesus. Moments later, Douglas County deputies arrived at her door issuing her a citation for tampering.
I don't understand why I'm being threatened with jail time for chalk.
The prosecution of somebody for writing on the sidewalk with chalk is really making a mountain out of a molehill.
The ACLU is now representing Johnson.
Ms. Johnson is being prosecuted not for the conduct of writing chalk on a sidewalk, but she's being prosecuted for the particular message.
Lawyer Mark Silverstein is not arguing that her actions on private property were legal. He just believes the prosecution can't prove his client had intent to annoy, injure, or inconvenience anyone.
I don't think she had any of those intentions. I think she intended to send a message to her congressperson.
The chalk message that she had left over was washed away. When we contacted the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, they said they could not comment further on this issue, but they said there was much more to the story than what we were being told. Live in Denver, Dylan Thomas, covering Colorado First.
Thank you, Dylan.